Hi, this video is about picking good high-resolution images that will look great for your video projects. Some of your Ken Burns projects and other projects had kind of these like pixelated grainy images that didn't look too great. So I wanted to give you an easy guide to picking really great images for your projects. All right, let me share my screen. So first I have to talk a little bit about image resolution and pixel size. So any image that's on the internet or in a digital format are made of pixels. So this image of the praying mantis, for example, it's made of all these little squares of color. And there are different resolutions of images. So if it's a very high resolution, good image, it will have a lot of pixels in here. Every pixel is small and it will be less grainy because it has this real density of pixels. If an image is low resolution, low quality, each of these pixels, it will have fewer pixels. Each of these pixels will be big, huge blocks of color that makes something look pixelated or grainy. So how that applies to video is that in order to pick a good image, high resolution image for video, it should be the same size, pixel size as your video like window. If you stretch it out to fit it, then those pixels will become bigger, your image will become more grainy. So let's look at how many pixels there are in an HD video. So a lot of you should be or are exporting at a full HD size, which is called 1080 resolution or full HD, HD 1080. And that is 1920 by 1080 pixels. And when you're like, you have this pixel size, it always will say the width, the number of pixels across first, and then vertically. So your video window that you're editing with is 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels high. So when you're picking your images, you need to look for images that are as close as possible to that size, so then you're not stretching it out and causing that graininess. All right, so I'm just going to do a demo of looking for a sample documentary about hamsters. Okay, hamster, I'm going to search that in Google Images. Go to images. And then I'm going to start to sort through these and see which ones are good enough quality to use in a 1920 by 1080 pixel video. Okay, so the way to find that width by height pixel number for each image on the internet is by clicking it here. And then you actually just hover your mouse over the image. You really can't tell, unfortunately, from how big it gets in this window. It may get huge and it looks like it's a great quality image, but you don't really know that pixel size. So if you hover over it, then here you will see some numbers, which is the actual number of pixels across and then vertically. So in this case, this is 636 pixels wide and 636 pixels tall. So let's check again that visual resolution for video. So it should be at 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels tall. So let's see, that 1080 pixels is really what you're going for. It's okay if it doesn't fit, like fill up the entire width of the video, but it needs to fill up the entire height of the video, right? So we really want to pay attention to the second number. It should be at least 1080 pixels high, otherwise it will be stretched out and grainy. So let's look at that hamster picture again. 636, is that 1080? No, it's actually at about half of that. So this will be stretched twice as wide as it is, and it will be half the image quality that it is here. So what we're really looking for is something where the second number is at least 1080. Let's look at this one. I click it. If I hover over it, I'll see that number here. Okay, so the height in pixels of this image is 2,384. So that's plenty of image quality here. Let me go through and just look at a few more. All right, this is 667 pixels high. That is not enough. This one is 853, not enough. 836 pixels high, not enough. So you see how a lot of images on the internet actually are not going to be good enough quality to use. So the best way to find those really good quality images, it's such a simple hack. Go to tools, this little button tools at the top, and go to size on the left here and say large. That will automatically sort these to give you the best high resolution, high pixel images. So let's go through and start hovering again to find those numbers. All right, so the second image, the second height number is 2,384. That's good. So it's actually giving a different version of a similar image that we saw earlier. This is 2,000 pixels high, and that is over 1,080, so that will work. All right, hovering over it. You still have to be careful even within this. You need that second number to be at least 1,080 pixels. You see how a lot of them, this one would work, but there's a few even within this sorting that wouldn't work. Okay, so when you do find that image that's good enough quality, you're going to right click it and press save image as, and then you'll save it wherever you need to use in your project, and you only use those images. The other thing I wanted to address in terms of quality of image is stock photos. There are a lot of these stock photos that are available online that may be exactly the kind of image that you want, but I really encourage you not to use anything that has a watermark or says Shutterstock or any other watermark across your image. It just looks unprofessional and it won't help your project look good, even if the image content is what you want. I also really encourage you not to use things that are like a screenshot, unless your story is about that. Try not to use things that have like an obvious, like the word copyright written across the bottom, things like that. Also, if you can avoid just using like quotes that are put into an image, that would be great. I'd rather use real images like photography or illustration to show us what you're talking about rather than tell us through kind of like a quote that's written in nice font. All right, so that's my guide to image resolution and image quality. I hope this helped you guys a little bit. I'll see you later.